Hey everybody, welcome back to another review. Today is a special review, for I am reviewing something that is very sentimental and meaningful to me, and this is the Mattel Batman and Robin Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack. A little bit of story about why this is special to me. First of all, I think these figures are really awesome. Second of all, I got them, found them at a store at Toys R Us in 2008. It was the only one there. Got them. They were some of the earliest figures in my collection. I really loved them until one day madness took me over and I basically dismembered them in an attempt to make a custom, which never came to fruition. And I didn't realize at the time how kind of hard to find and valuable these figures were. So all these years later, I'm finally have them in my possession again. So here we go. Let's look at the packaging, which I think is really, really cool. You've got this silhouette of Batman and Robin in the spotlight, just like in the comics. It says Batman and Robin at the top. There actually should be a bat logo right here, but as you can see here, maybe, well, it's right there. It's somehow slipped off and went over there, but it should be there. On the side, just brick, really, and a gargoyle. Nothing special. And then on the back here, we get a description. I will read it for you. This iconic pose captures Batman and Robin, the dynamic duo, ready to face danger and strike fear into the hearts of the foes of Gotham City, the city they are sworn to protect. The Caped Crusader mentors his legendary sidekick Robin in the skills of martial arts and crime fighting. Here, Tim Drake is captured in his role as the third hero to wear Robin's classic green and red costume. Inspired by a timeless image that has been recreated through Batman artists throughout the years, this classic pose has now been brought to life through fully articulated action figures designed, sculpted, and posed by passionate toy makers and comic book lovers. Wow, that is the longest description on the back of a box I think I've ever read. So that's cool though. Here on the back we get a picture of the figures, looking really cool there. And we also get something else that's really interesting, which I'm going to tell you about. It says Batman and Nightwing. This is something that is clearly shown here. The figures are made, and I remember being really excited when I got this pack because I wanted to get them too. Well, it turns out they never actually released this pack as it's shown, at least. What they basically ended up doing is they released Batman and literally this same figure but wearing the colors of Nightwing. He's got black and blue painted on his costume instead. I have no idea why that Nightwing figure wasn't released, but that's what it is. Given that the Robin was a DC superheroes figure, maybe the Nightwing figure exists in some form. I'm kind of thinking maybe he does. Post a picture if he does, but here's a picture right here of what was actually released, and it's just really disappointing and terrible. So yeah, then it just says collect them all, and then colors and decorations may vary from those shown. Yeah, but nothing about the sculpt, you fools. Anyways, let's get this out of the box. So just wanted to show real quick what that bat logo would have looked like in the box. And also they're partially out of the box now, and you can really appreciate them in that pose with the spotlight. Really cool. Alright, so here we have the dynamic duo out of the box. I will start with Batman. So this Batman is really cool. He's actually he's like their DC superheroes Batman. But they, as far as I know, they remade him, and this is like a super articulated body, which is actually kind of curious because they didn't do that with their Robin, which is disappointing. But anyways, let's take a look at him. He's got a very small head, I will point that out. But he's got this amazing wash over his gray cloth on him. He comes with this batarang, which I'm actually just going to keep in there. But it's very, very gummy. Unusually gummy. And it's got kind of a interesting design. And then he's also got what is perhaps the most impressive cloth cape I have ever seen on a figure. Look at this. God, I can't even capture it. Let me look at this. It's amazing. It's huge. Current Batman figure makers, take note. Do this. It's awesome. But anyways, let's get on to his articulation. So his head is very gummy, but I don't think that's an actual joint. I think it's the head just being gummy. So I think it's just a 360. His arms go out. Swivel at the bicep. Hinge at the elbow. Swivel at the glove. And what's really cool is he's got a hinge on the hands. That's unusual. What's also unusual for Mattel is to give a diaphragm joint. Look at that. Ooh, you spin me right round, baby, right round. Anyways, he's got another joint at the lower waist. Swivel there. He goes forward and back really good. Unfortunately, though, there is no T-joint. That would have really made this figure awesome. Just before the time. And I will say, this is actually an improvement over the last 2-pack of this I had, because I remember the shorts were like really badly painted on that one. But man, I also gotta say the joints on this, so stiff that like I thought I was going to break them when I was trying to move them, even after heating them up. It seems like I just can't escape stiff joints, even on old figures. Anyways, he hinges at the knees, and then he's got a hinge at the ankle, which would become standard DCUC collection, or articulation. So he's cool. He's not really my type style of Batman, but I think I'm just going to keep him just for sentimental value, and because he's got that cool wash and cape. But he would fit in really great in a DCU or DC Universe Classics collection. Alright, on to Robin. This is the figure I got this 2-pack for. I always thought this was a dope Robin. And it really is. I mean, look at the paint on him. The wash is amazing. Makes it infinitely superior to the DC Superheroes version, even though it's the same mold. And this is the only way to get it too, so this is obviously based on the Tim Drake costume. But this, I grew up with Batman the animated series, so aside from these, there's no real indication to me that this is Tim Drake. This just looks like Dick Grayson to me, and I might just use it as such. But yeah, let's go over it. He's got a really awesome head sculpt. I've always loved this head. He's got detailing in the hair. He's got a soft goods cape just like Batman. I do wish it was I kind of could drape over him, but I guess that wasn't really the design of the Robin at the time. But it is still really cool, and it's a very thick material, and I like it. That does look strange, I won't lie, but most of the time he's going to be posed from the front. So, and then he comes with this Robin version of a Batarang, When I got this when I was like 13, I called it a Robin ring. Got a nice ring to it. I don't know what it's really called though. I know in Batman Arkham and they're just called shurikens, but come on, man. Robin ring. Anyways, let's go over the articulation. He is quite a bit more hindered or limited than Batman, unfortunately. His head does 360, but mine's stuck. I didn't bother to unstick it before this, but it does go 360. His arms go out, but they are hindered by these patches on the shoulders, which is unfortunate. But I do appreciate this joint. They go all the way around. No elbow joint. That is what really hurts this figure more than anything. It's baffling to me that they would redo their Batman, but not this. Would have been really cool to see this in a more articulated version. But he does have upper wrist swivel, upper arm swivel, which I do like. It gives you some variety. You can kind of get him in like a angry pose, because he does already have that kind of grimace on his face. Get some good range of motion with the legs, and then he's got a knee joint. Unfortunately, it doesn't really go 90 degrees. So, and that's it. That's all he's got. But like I said, I still really love the figure, just from a visual standpoint, and it is very sentimental, like I said. So let's get on to the size comparison. So here he is next to the Mattel DC Multiverse, I think it's called Signature Series Batman. And then here he is next to the only other Robin figure I currently have in this scale, the Mattel Arkham City Batman, or Robin figure. Also Tim Drake, actually. So it's interesting to see the different interpretations of the character. I personally love them both and will probably use them. This one probably as like a younger Robin, and this one as a one who's almost ready to ditch Batman and become Nightwing. And here we have some Marvel Legends. We have the Tony Stark figure and Iron Man. And as you can see, he's actually shorter than Tony Stark, which is interesting. So I guess this is definitely like a younger, like a teenage Robin for sure. And here he is next to some Movie Masters figures. As you can see, he's a little bit shorter even than them still, so interesting. Fun fact, I actually used to use this Robin with my Christian Bale Batman. And then I just wanted to quickly show what this tray looks like outside of the box. I think it still looks really cool even though it's just thin plastic. It's still held up after all these years, and as you can see here, there's actually a like little ledge here, so you can put the figures on it, and it looks really, really good. And then just for fun here, Robin is with the Batman that I would prefer to use. So overall, I really like this pack. I really do, for multiple reasons. I think they're good figures, and also the sentimental stuff I've mentioned. I got this pack for $58.11, which I think was a good deal, just considering how it's a Toys R Us exclusive and all these years have passed. It's kind of rare. To get it under $60 was a good deal for me. I had it on my radar for a long time. When I saw an auction going and no one paying attention to it, I just had to bid on it, and that's what I got it for. But eBay is pretty much your only option unless you somehow find it on OfferUp or Mercari. But yeah, I would recommend this pack. I would. I do think it's niche though. I don't think it's going to appeal to everybody. But I think for big Batman fans, this is something that would appeal to you. And yeah, I would recommend it. So that's all for this review, and stay tuned until next time. Thank you.